Sorry, Mataji, I was changing my name and somehow I took the host. Preeti Vilasni Mataji.
I'm just seeing if the YouTube is failing. Just give me a second.
Sorry.
No problem.
Mataji, I was changing my name and somehow.
We went live exactly when you said sorry, Mataji. No problem. We are good, Mataji. No worries.
Okay, Mataji. So I'll give you host now.
Host, co-host, anything is okay. Live is done.
You take host.
Okay.
Hare Krishna Kirtida Sundari Mataji. Thank you so much for the very beautiful recitation, Mataji.
Thank you, Dashni Mataji.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees, Dandavat Pranams, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Please accept my humble obeisances. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Jagatguru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, I welcome all of you to Bhakti Sangha Japa Conference Call's mid-morning session on Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat. So before moving on to today's session, may I know who all have joined the call today?
Hare Krishna Darshani, this is Preeti Vilasni Devidasi from Atlanta. Thank you for your warm welcoming and thank you, Kirtida Sundari Mataji, for the divine chanting.
Hare Krishna Preeti Vilasani Mataji Dandavat Pranams. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to your wonderful services. Thank you so much,
Hare Krishna,
Mataji, for
Mataji.
joining.
I'm Saroja from Bangalore.
Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call and giving your association to us. Welcome to the call. Hare Krishna Saroja Mataji Dandavat Pranams. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Please accept my humble obeisances. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call and giving your association to us. Welcome to the call.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandod pronounced to you and all the devotees here. Jai Srila Prabhupada, Sumi from Chennai.
Hare Krishna Sumi Mataji Dandavat Pranams. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Please accept my humble obeisances. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call and giving your association to us. Welcome to the call.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandvat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Neetu from Baltimore.
Hare Krishna Ritu Mataji Dandavat Pranams. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Please accept my humble obeisances. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call and giving your association to us. Welcome to the call.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandvat Pranam to you and all Vaishnava. Srila Prabhupada, Srila Vijay, Vrinda from Atlanta, Panihatism.
Hare Krishna Vrinda Gopika Mataji Dandavat Pranams. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Please accept my humble obeisances. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call and giving your association to us. Welcome to the call.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranams. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, Rajas and all the assembled Vaishnavas. This is Kirtida Sundari Dasi.
है मैं उत्ते ऑफिस ही हेडफोन लगा
Hare Krishna Kirtida Sundari Mataji Dandavat Pranams. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to your wonderful services. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call and giving your association to us. And thank you so much for the very beautiful recitation. Welcome to the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, Tadavat Pranams, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Please accept my humble obeisances. I welcome all of you once again to Bhakti Sangha Japa Conference Call's mid-morning session on Sri Caitanya Bhagavat. Today we are very fortunate to have His Grace Ramgiridhari Prabhu with us. Before moving on to today's session, I would like to read Srila Prabhupada's quote for today, 8th April. According to Shastra, anyone who wears a tilak, shikha, and kanthi over and above the Vaishnava dress or Vaishnava sannyasi must be accepted, especially while chanting Hare Krishna mantra with beadbacks. When Jagannath has expanded his jurisdiction over the whole world, why the so-called servants of Jagannath should not allow them to see the Lord of the universe? Letter to Sham Sundar Prabhu, April 8th, 1974. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. The Prabhuji has not joined call yet, so we will chant till then. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Kaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna
We're
Krishna Hare
almost
Hare
there.
Ram Hare Hare
You will join in a minute. It was Vyas Puja, right? So everyone is getting delayed. That's the problem, but he'll be there in a minute.
Yes, Mataji, thank you so much. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare 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 Krishna, dear devotees, Dandavat Pranams. We are very fortunate today to have His Grace Ramgiridhari Prabhu with us to enlighten us on the topic of Sri Caitanya Bhagavat, Madhya Khanda, chapter 23, verses 195 to 203. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranams. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Please accept my humble obeisances. We are very fortunate and grateful to have you today, Prabhuji, on the call to enlighten us on the topic of Sri Caitanya Bhagavat. I now hand over the call to you, Prabhuji. Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna, Dandavad Pranams, all glories to Prabhupada, and please forgive me for joining in late. Actually, I am in some other location, and I did not bring my computer, laptop, so I have to do all the setup here. Today is my Guru Maharaj's Vyas Puja, and we had a big celebrations in the temple, and I got a bit late, so I have to log in from someone else's house. The technology was, I thought it would be easier to sign in on time, but then took some time. So excuse me for that. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. So we are reading from Sri Caitanya Bhagavata, Madhya Khanda, chapter 23, chapter title, Wandering About Navadip on the day the Lord delivered the Kazi. Text number 195 onwards. If somebody can be kind enough to share it on the screen. I am having my mobile, but it will be very helpful if, please. Okay. Haila sakala pata kai kadimayam. Keba kare keba fele hena rangahaya. The entire road was filled with puffed rice and small corn shells, but everyone was in such happiness that no one knew who brought them or who threw them. Stuti hena na maniha esakala kata. Yai mataha e Krishna viharena yata. Do not consider these topics as exaggerations. Such things happen wherever Krishna enjoys. Navalaksha prashada dwaraka ratnamaya nimeshe hailaye bhagavate kaya. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is stated that 900,000 jeweled palaces manifested within the blinking of an eye. Yei kale yadava sange sei dwarakaya jalakeli karilena yei dvijaraya Jagate viditahaya lavana sagaram icha matra haila amrita jaladharam. At that time, when the Lord of the Brahmanas enjoyed water sports with the Yadavas in that abode of Dwaraka, by his sweet will, the celebrated salty ocean transformed into an ocean of nectar. Hari vamse kahena se saba gopya kata ete kasandeha kichu nakariha eta. These confidential topics are described in the Hari Vamsa, therefore do not maintain any doubt in this regard. Say Prabhu nache nija kirtane vivala apane upasana shakala mangala. That same Lord now became overwhelmed in his own kirtana, and all auspiciousness automatically manifest. Bhagirati tire Prabhu nritya kariyaya Aage pache hari bhali sarva loka dhaya. As the Lord danced along the banks of the Ganges, everyone in front and behind the Lord chanted the name of Hari. Acharya Goshai age janakatalana Pratyakari Chalilena Paramananda Ana. Advaita Acharya led his group to the front and danced in great ecstasy as they proceeded along. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadaram Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrindam. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So today is a very auspicious day for all of us because it is Kamada Ekadashi, but it is also special for the disciples of Jayapataka Maharaj because today is his 76th Vyasa Puja day. So we had a fantastic celebrations all over the world, different parts of the world. I'm sure in US it's going to be celebrated, in the day and in the evenings today. I had the good fortune of celebrating in Radha Rasabihari Temple, Juhu, and did some service to host the program and conducted it for the pleasure of Vaishnavas. And then we were so overwhelmed and so busy with the festivities, and finally came back home pretty late, and I had to visit one devotee's house. So we are in Radha Vrajanidhi's house. You see this altar? This is a beautiful deities of Shri Radha Vrajanidhi. They are the deities named by Param Pujya Radha Govind Maharaj, and I come here for some service. Of course, I should have come early, but then I got slightly delayed. So coming back to Caitanya Bhagavata, so what an auspicious day when they are discussing Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's transcendental and wonderful pastimes, and those pastimes which are generally kept secret, generally are very confidential, and to an extent non-comprehensible also. But the warning that is given here is that if you don't comprehend, please develop your qualification to an extent so that you are able to comprehend that I can't comprehend, which in itself is an understanding. I am not able to comprehend the activities of the Supreme Lord and activities of the Supreme Lord's dearest servants. As much as the Lord's activities that are described over here, look at Acharya's writings. When Vrindavan Das Thakura has written, Vrindavan Das Thakura is so empathetic about people of Kali Yuga, down the line. They may even challenge the authenticity of the content just because of their poor fund of knowledge and limited understanding. He made sure, he gave a warning to say that it may not be comprehensible by you, but please note they are not even 1% of exaggeration. And he is giving a pramana for that. He is giving pramana of Krishna's pastimes that happened in Dwaraka. So that is why acharyas are, very, very important for our lives, because they help us and they provide us necessary scaffold so that we make progress in Krishna consciousness. If they are not there, if their support and if their enablement is not there, probably we will not be able to comprehend certain aspects in our devotional life. Probably we will, just skip these pages. First of all, we do not know how much we would have reached these pages. We would have skipped these pages saying that these are all some exaggeration. Today morning we were glorifying about Jayapataka Maharaj's contribution in our Sankirtan mission. As a disciple, I want to say this with all humility, honesty, and with absolute surrender. We sang this song that Jayapataka Maharaj wrote, Jadi Prabhupada na hoito, tabe ki hoito, e jivana barita kise. Had Prabhupada not come, who would have given us Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu and various other things that Jayapataka Maharaj is listing? I was contemplating and reflecting as a servant that, and not only me, almost 50% of the people who gave the offering today, homages, they acknowledge this fact. In ISKCON, as on today, if Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's glories are being discussed and known, it all started after Prabhupada. Of course, whatever Prabhupada had given in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Jayapataka Maharaj took it to another level altogether. And personally for me, if I have some small attachment towards the Sankirtan mission and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all glories to His Holiness Jayapataka Maharaj. He was instrumental in presenting, bringing out Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's glories, that when Chaitanya Bhagavata, Chaitanya Mangala and so many books were not yet translated, he had already known, and Srinathji Prabhu was speaking in ISKCON's 50th anniversary celebration in Calcutta about the episode of how when Srila Prabhupada came to his house in 1971 in Nepean Road. So, how Srila Prabhupada came with so many disciples, and Srinathji Prabhu was recognizing that I saw amongst all of them one very effulgent devotee And this effulgent person is none other than Jayapataka Maharaj, and he narrated the entire episode. I'll just take 2 minutes because it's a privilege for me to glorify, at the same time to insist on this current context. Because we are discussing about something that is non-comprehensible. Because he said, what is non-comprehensible is made comprehensible or realizable because of the blessings of a self-realized soul like Srila Prabhupada. So that is why I am presenting this. So in fact, that is my first reflection also, that how in our Krishna consciousness, many things may not be comprehensible, but then with the help of our Vaishnava Acharyas, our Gurudev, we are able to participate, enjoy, accept, relish, and eventually comprehend. Even if that comprehension is that I am not able to comprehend, and that's the end of it. As Ananta Sesha says, that with my 1,000 head, I am witnessing the Lord's activities day in and day out, and I am not able to understand. That's an understanding. So even to that understanding, so what we come to a realization is that I cannot understand, but what is happening is truth, what is happening is glorious, what is happening is need to be celebrated. So Srinathji Prabhu was telling, Prabhupada ji came along with certain disciples, and Jayapataka Maharaj was one of them. So they had many agendas. So one of the agenda was Jayapataka Maharaj. Prabhupada said, this boy, he was pointing to Jayapataka Maharaj and said, please, help him get Indian citizenship. So Srinathji Prabhu said, at that time, he was subscribing to a Mayavadi school of thought. And of course, his father and mother, they were Vaishnavas, but somehow he got attracted to some Mayavadi school of thoughts that he didn't, fully believe. And right from the first meeting of Srila Prabhupada itself, he was awestruck, and he was completely confused of what was going on. So he said, really? An American, gentleman needing an Indian citizenship? He says that all of us in India wants to get American citizenship, and here this Swamiji is asking for an Indian citizenship. So he said, I couldn't even comprehend. Of course, my father was also a bit surprised, but then I was completely thinking that these guys are, really gone, crazy. So then Prabhupada made another statement saying that don't think this boy is an ordinary person. And he said this devotee was an original associate of Lord Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu. So when Srinathji Prabhu heard this, he got all the more surprised. Because first of all, he was not believing in those statements because of his, at that point in time, subscribing to a different school of thought. Second is that belief that these guys had, they are putting into practice, which is also not comprehensible. An American coming to ask an Indian citizenship to settle in a place which is a remote part of the country. There are no developments. I mean, everything was going completely crazy for him. And to cut the long story short, Prabhuji was telling, I was arguing with Prabhupada since then for 4 long years. Somehow Srila Prabhupada, knowing that I was not, directly yet believing in what Prabhupada was saying, he still, somehow gave me company and gave response, and he walked along with me, hopeful on me, or had some extra mercy upon me. Said what I used to do was, I used to hear from Prabhupada. When I used to hear from Srila Prabhupada, I used to be convinced of what Prabhupada is saying. Then I used to go to my Mayavadi guru, whom I thought as my guru, and when used to go and explain to him and bring his views to Prabhupada, And this way I was arguing with Prabhupada for 4 years. And then how he became Prabhupada's disciple is another story. But then Srinathji Prabhu was telling, this is a, you can find that, video in the YouTube. I'll forward that also if you want. So he was telling that now, 50 years later, Jayapataka Maharaj was sitting in the same auditorium. 50 years later, when I am completely convinced about what Srila Prabhupada said, I am seeing what was said, not only in action. I am getting to believe or completely believe that this is every statement of Srila Prabhupada is an absolute truth, and the experience and the outcome of that is right in front of me. So he was trying to explain how the non-comprehensible subject matter, when you just simply surrender, when you just simply follow, when you just simply apply the instructions, will eventually be able to be comprehensible, eventually be able to be relishable, eventually be able to be a wonderful thing. If you just stay put, you don't need to do anything. Today, I am not able to understand, I am not able to appreciate, because what was happening is, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had still not yet started the Nagar Sankirtan, Harinam Sankirtan publicly, when he was still doing the nocturnal Kirtan, when the so-called caste Brahmins and Shaktas, all those nearby neighbors, when they went to complain to Kazi, they thought these guys have gone crazy because they are doing something unconventional, because they are doing something groundbreaking, because they are doing something different than what we are doing. And this experience was not only just then. I'm sure even till now, that experiences of a surprise, experiences of something different is being felt by many of us. When I first came into Krishna consciousness, I was in my grade 7, 1989, September. I hail from a completely different upbringing and South Indian Brahmin family where all this dancing, singing, they are all completely foreign to us. And my father was an Orthodox Brahmin. So I was at my home watching TV or doing something. My father was a local school teacher. So we had a temple nearby, a Balaji temple. So suddenly one of my father's student came running to my house and he was calling, saying that your dad is urgently wanting you to come to the temple. So, I didn't know why he was calling. And when I went to the temple, the reason my dad called me was, there were 7, 8 tall, huge foreign-bodied Gaudiya Vaishnavas. Bhanuswami Maharaj, Arjun Nath Prabhu, and there were a few other, devotees at that time. They were all part of traveling Sankirtan party. So they had just finished, or they had been performing evening Kirtan, and I missed it because by the time I reached, the Kirtan got over. But my father said, you should have seen how they were jumping, how they were dancing, how they were, jumping to the, as if they are going to touch the ceiling, and they were dancing and dancing and dancing. So it was a scene to witness, and all the caste Brahmins in a South Indian Balaji temple, typically they used to be chanting Vishnu Sahasranama and some sort of, ceremony. But here people are crazily dancing, not just dancing, they are making everyone else dance. And my father, maybe, I don't know what he thought. He called me to witness that. Jokingly, he later said, when I became a little fanatic and more serious in Krishna consciousness, and gave him some sort of a mild threat of me being a, and complete sadhu or sannyasi or whatever that he thought I will become. So he thought I shouldn't have called you to a Balaji temple on that day. Probably I would have got a different version of you. Anyway, the point was that non-comprehensible subject they couldn't comprehend. In this world, somebody can perform devotion like this. Devotion should be done in this way. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu literally broke all the traditional, what you call as, jinx. And he came and gave something unconventional and immediately made everyone, flooded to this Sankirtan mission. And Vrindavan Das Thakura, knowing people will be doubting this, people will be, questioning this, people will be, when they read, they should not think that just like that they have exaggerated. So he's giving all sorts of pramana. So to conclude my first reflection, Srinathji Prabhu was saying what Srila Prabhupada had said, that this boy is an associate of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We all witnessed them by the way he conducted himself, and he is preaching the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Sankirtan mission to every nook and corner to an extent. What Srila Prabhupada did in terms of revolutionizing this entire, world with Sankirtan mission, Jayapataka Swami did that in Bengal. Even the local traditional Bengalis who should have otherwise celebrated Chaitanya Mahaprabhu couldn't do it. To those Bengalis, this boy learned Bengali language, studied Bengali literature, started going out to all those villages and trying to preach about Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission and winning so many souls to the lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada. So I'm so fortunate that I am associated with such a great personality. In fact, some of them were remembering that in those days, because there were no notes, no online, no internet and various things. So just to hear Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Leela from Jayapataka Maharaj, that is I am witness to that. The way Jayapataka Maharaj used to narrate, so you should have, you can still find some of those recordings. He will narrate as if he was party to that, he was witnessing that. He would narrate that he saw the scene just in, front of his eyes. The way Vrindavan Das Thakura is giving details. Vrindavan Das Thakura could have finished this entire Leela. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wandered around Navadvipa and there were ecstatic moments. 2-3 slokas he could have finished. Look at the description he's giving. There was so much crowd, even a mustard seed will not fall. There were so many rice on the streets. There were conches, there were people ecstatic. So many details he's giving, which establishes that these are all not some sort of somebody's cooked up, dreamy stories. These are all some things that happened. So this is my first reflection, to say that the Supreme Lord's transcendental pastimes, even though they may be non-comprehensible, even though they may be something that is beyond our imagination, we as a sincere followers should learn first to accept them, second to surrender to them, and third to start preaching about them, and eventually we will come to the stage of able to realize them. We will be party to them, and who knows, in the future you will be part of such a history that somebody will be glorifying about. So that brings us to the second reflection. Recently we had a Guru Agnya program. In fact, last 20 days are such a wonderful days for me, because from in fact last time when I gave a class, I was in Madurai. I think I told you all that we are going to have Jayapataka Maharaj and Safari team. So from 22nd of March up till 1st of April, I had the good fortune, thanks to all the seniors who are blessed. So got the opportunity to travel around and be in the association of Jayapataka Maharaj and his servants. And in those 10 days, we had 2 days of Guru Agnya. Yeah, disciples meet with Jayapataka Maharaj. At that time, so many realizations, so many lessons. I really thought that when I, come to Bhakti Sangha program, I made so many notes thinking that, I want to show and flaunt my learning to Bhakti Sangha group, saying that, so much of things I learned. But then I thought, what am I to flaunt? There are already, all Bhakti Vaibhava and superlative educated and qualified devotees. I should rather stay grounded and humble and try to just present some simple realizations. So many learnings, so wonderful things, but I'll come to the point. So Jayapataka Maharaj, during that Guru Ajna program, in one of the class, he made a very interesting statement. He said that Caitanya Mahaprabhu was having the vision that every town and village, every nook and corner of the world, every place all over the universe, he wanted to win. He wanted to inspire them. He wanted to make sure that they all are, chanting the holy name of the Lord. And he expressed that desire to his, associates. And the associates were so wonderful, grounded associates. They all took it up as a part of their mission and they all started preaching. So Jayapataka Maharaj was explaining at that time that Caitanya Mahaprabhu literally wanted each and every one of us to become a spiritual master to an extent that we win more and more souls to the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. So he was telling everyone this, what Caitanya Mahaprabhu wanted, Srila Prabhupada repeated and he gave us statistics or kind of an, financial or not, numeric evaluation. He said, according to the prediction of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, hundreds and thousands and millions and billions of people are going to come to join the Sankirtan mission. A Bhavishyavani. This is a prediction. So in Indian currency or Indian numerical system, hundreds of crores of people are going to be part of the Sankirtan mission and they are going to be part of this. And then Jayapataka Maharaj was telling that Prabhupada was worried. Prabhupada was contemplating that this prophecy or this statement of Bhaktivinoda Thakura, how it will come true. So you need so many preachers. So if there are going to be crores and crores of people who will have to be, practicing Krishna consciousness, then there should be at least lakhs and lakhs of gurus. And Maharaj was explaining, today we have hardly 100, 200 spiritual masters. How in this world, with 100, 200 spiritual masters, we are going to create crores of followers to Caitanya Mahaprabhu? If you are serious, if you are committed, if you are interested in fulfilling the prophecy of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, which in turn was told by Srila Prabhupada, which is Srila Prabhupada told me, and he was telling about himself, that he told me that expand the preaching mission unlimitedly. Jayapataka Maharaj has got around 30, 40 projects that Srila Prabhupada had given him, which he wanted to, finish, or he wanted to make sure that they are all started and established and, taken care. And one of them is expand the preaching mission unlimitedly. And he was mentioning that one of the, strategic steps towards that is we need to create more and more spiritual masters. So he was telling, for the past several years, I have been discussing with GBC body about this project of how are we going to create, how are we going to enable, how are we going to empower more and more spiritual masters, not just Siksha, but also Diksha. So he said two things at one point, saying that each and every one of you should be a sincere practitioner sincere followers of Srila Prabhupada, so much so that you eventually become a spiritual master to win more and more souls. And that way, we will fulfill the prophecy. We will prove the statements of Acharyas are not just statements. They are all some predictions that are definitely going to come to reality in the future. Or at that time when they said, people were thinking, because Gaudiya Math was going through a rough patch. When Bhaktivinoda Thakur was preaching, there were so many fake, Gaudiya followers. There were so many disturbances, turbulences. In India, the political, the socio-economical system was also completely different until 1947, when it was under British rule. And then also after that, they were economically backward. And so many situations were not conducive. So people were completely clueless how these prophecies are going to be fulfilled. But look at what Abhay Charnar and the Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada has done. I think I've told you all that story several times. Where Srila Prabhupada told, some fool surrendered to Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaja will one day do it, but that's not you. This was a conversation Srila Prabhupada had with this, God brother. So coming back to the context, Jayapataka Maharaj was saying that by we participating in the Sankirtan mission of Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu, by we growing up to the level of becoming a spiritual master and winning more and more souls to the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Supreme Lord, we are going to be part of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Leela. It is not that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came, did the Leela and left. It is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came, started the Leela, and the Leela is still continuing. So if I can take the cue from the previous reflection, it is Mahaprabhu's associates in the form of various preachers around the world, like that of Jayapataka Maharaj, like that of Gopal Krishna Maharaj, like that of so many, Maharajas, so many proper disciples, as an empowered personalities. They are still giving us an opportunity to be part of an history in making. Who knows? 100 years down the line, probably Bhakti Sangha Japa conference will be part of a literature. Somebody is going to write that I was a student of Bhakti Sangha Japa group. I learned Srimad Bhagavatam from the preachers out there and I got Krishna consciousness. Who knows? Whatever you are all doing, whatever services that is being rendered will be written in a book which some student will study, learn, memorize and go ahead and preach. And that's exactly what is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Sankirtan mission is. So when Mahaprabhu was wandering like this, dancing like this, moving around like this, these leelas are meant for winning more and more souls. And Maharaj was concluding by saying, especially when Mahaprabhu came down to South India, the way Mahaprabhu preached was different from the way Mahaprabhu preached elsewhere. And then he revealed that Mahaprabhu, when he started traveling towards South India, right from Alarnath all the way to South India, Mahaprabhu's preaching strategy was calling out people, giving them hugs. Calling out people, hugging them. He just kept on embracing people who came on their way and he was profusely giving them Krishna prem. So he was telling that all of you South Indians, and he was telling us that, not that I'm trying to be biased as a South Indian here, but I'm saying that when you hear how Mahaprabhu was so kind, how all the Acharyas, great personalities are finding out some strategy or the other to win us to the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. So my second reflection is that when we hear these transcendental pastimes, when Advaita Acharya is leading one group, suppose for example, if you have to study these pastimes 50 years later, we will say that, Radhanath Maharaj led one group, Jayapataka Maharaj led one group, Gopal Krishna Maharaj led one group. Maybe 50 years further more later, we will say that, some other great, Amarendra led one group, Arjun Saga led one group, our devotees led one group. Like that. These all wonderful devotees, so many preachers, they're all still, so we are all still part of Mahaprabhu's Sankirtan mission. So we can be very happy, elated, as well as we have a responsibility. So we have a important responsibility to make sure that this Sankirtan mission that began is definitely, properly taken up, taken seriously, so that that which is non-comprehensible, that which are currently only in the books, that which are currently being, remembered and discussed in only a very smaller circle, will eventually become a lifestyle, eventually become a reality. Because acharyas or great personalities are those who do these groundbreaking things. By these GBC meetings, so many important meetings by great senior Vaishnavas, all they are trying to do is that how to put things into practice in a manner it is sustainable and not misconstrued, so that the authenticity of this movement is protected. Glories of Srila Prabhupada is spreading, and we eventually have, for the next 10,000 years, the Sankirtan mission spread to every nook and corner of this universe. And that comes to the third reflection, which is slightly extrapolated from this current context. It is not directly spoken in this context, but I can take the cue from the previous two reflections and say, hence, we need to make sure that we are becoming a responsible followers. And one of the lessons that I learned during this visit is what kind of a follower that we should not be. We have to become many, responsible activities that we should do, but something that we should not do. What kind of a, follower that we should not be is something that I was very much interested in studying, because when we are practicing Krishna consciousness, sometimes because of the glory of this process, because we are given respect by following this process, we may assume those respect as our qualification. We may assume that respect that we might receive, people give you, like, because I was hosting the program, so everybody, might be thinking that, they may give some respect. But I need to remember that these respect are not belonging to me. Those are all belonging to my seniors. Those are all belonging to my predecessors. I am just a puppet. The day I start to assume, the day I start to misbehave, Jayapatak Maharaj gave a beautiful class this morning. Of course, it was a recorded lecture that we played from 3rd Canto, 28th chapter, text number 19, if I'm right. So he was explaining that how one should make necessary course corrections in their conduct, from chanting to hearing to association to eating to lifestyle, how one should behave in a manner so that his Krishna consciousness is very nicely protected. So I want to mention about 6 types of disciples one should not become, because it is very important. By we knowing what all we should not become, at least we will be able to safeguard ourselves. Otherwise, we may dwell on something, whilst in reality it was absolutely just infatuation, but not real, love. So to cross check that, the 6 types of adama, or person who one should not be, a person one should not become. 6 types of inferior disciple. Number 1, they should not be like a bee, unsteady like a bee. The example is given: a bee switches from one flower to another flower in search of honey. A disciple should be such that he should remain steadfastly focused and committed to the mission of one's own Gurudev, that no other agenda is a priority for him. And that we see in Srila Prabhupada, that definitely as disciples we see in Jayapataka Maharaj. Maharaj was telling in the lecture that my 24 hours all through my day and night, only one thing is going on in my head, which is how am I going to fulfill the orders that Srila Prabhupada had given me. Nothing else is coming in my head. Whether I'm waking up, sleeping. So I was very closely, talking to disciples and the servants of Jayapataka Maharaj. So the finer details, nuance, the small details that they give, gives us more commitment and more surrender towards your own spiritual master. That how Jayapataka Maharaj, when he was sleeping, when he is walking, when he is exercising, when he is doing every activity, he is not doing one activity, he do three activities. One is the activity that he is currently doing, whether it is talking, walking, swimming, meeting. He does two more other activities parallelly, by which he wants to make sure, he wants to catch up, he wants to stay young, alert, and make sure that so long as Prabhupada's missions are fulfilled, he would not rest. He would not want to take any vacation, break. Which means being steadfastly focused. My life's goal is to fulfill the orders of spiritual master. So one type of disciple one should not become is like a wavering minded. Be like a personality who is keep jumping from one side to another side, one priority to another priority, one focus to another focus. Second is arrow-like, argumentative type. There's a full verse for the sixth type. I will share that also. We won't have time to go through all of them, but I just thought I'll list them at least so that all of you able devotees can comprehend, chew them further. So second type is arrow, argumentative type, going and debating, argumentative, and to an extent to say disagreeing, disregarding the orders. So it is very important that sometimes we may have to use our intelligence to keep our arrogance aside. The arrogance is also coming out of another form of intelligence. We are arrogant. Sometimes we are very emphatic in what we are thinking. That also comes from another aberrated version of our intelligence. But we need to use spiritual intelligence. We need to use the spiritual strength that we generally derive from Vaishnava Sangha and Gurudev's blessings. Using that weapon, using that strength, we should remove this arrogance out of us to stay put in this process. Because of Srinathji Prabhu's statement, I remember his statement that for 4 long years, I was arrogant to not agree to Srila Prabhupada. But somehow Srila Prabhupada eventually accepted me in a very, very sweet, wonderful, but very prayerful, he left me in a very prayerful, longing, stage. Because when Srila Prabhupada accepted Srinathji, Srila Prabhupada wouldn't see Srinathji Prabhu anymore. The last ride that Srinathji Prabhu gave to Srila Prabhupada from Radha Rasibihari temple to Mumbai Central Station, and rushing towards that, the entire episode, I think it is published somewhere, you all should hear that pastime. He's saying that Srila Prabhupada, when he was leaving the train, somewhere I realized that he is the man I'm supposed to surrender to. Somehow I didn't have the necessary time and intelligence now to go and express. And by the time I come to terms, Prabhupada already left, and he left a wonderful garland for me. And that is the last time I saw Prabhupada. And when I surrendered to Prabhupada, Prabhupada became unavailable to me for my. Otherwise, I used to argue, debate, question. But now I want to serve him, surrender to him, accept him as my spiritual master. He was not available. So sometimes in our devotional life, we may have so many wonderful personalities to our support. But by our arrogance, by our argumentative nature, we may miss them. We may put a wall between us and them, that the necessary learnings, which otherwise could have become very easy, is restricted. So please don't become an argumentative type of a disciple. And third is procrastinating type, delaying things by giving some reasoning. So we should not become a disciple where we should, procrastinate. We'll do it. We'll do it later. We'll do it at the time of retirement. We'll do it when I'm getting my son and daughter married. We'll do it when we settle in Vrindavan Dham. We'll do it after 65 of our age. So if you see, all Prabhupada disciples, at least, because that's the direct experiences that I have, I'm sure all of you have, you'll see them having some sense of urgency in them. Because Prabhupada had that sense of urgency in him. Because Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj and all the Acharyas had some sense of urgency in them. Somehow, we, the students of such great personalities, if we do not have the sense of urgency within us, we take Krishna consciousness in a laid back, mood and state. It's not fair. It is not, acceptable. So the third type of disciple that one should not become, the follower one should not become, is a procrastinating type. So today morning, Jayapatak Maharaj is telling in the class, Shubhasya Shigram. If you know, if you have heard, if you have convinced, please apply. Try to start applying. Maybe you'll apply 1%, but start applying. Stagnancy in Krishna consciousness is not okay. Sometimes we may get confused between stagnancy and consistency. They may look alike, but they are not same. I remember a very interesting pastime that Gauranga Prabhu has shared about Pankajangri Prabhu. Pankajangri Prabhu and Gauranga Prabhu were in UK. They met a businessman or some politician in UK or some very big guy. So, Gauranga Prabhu introduced him that he is a disciple of Prabhupada. He's in this movement for the past 50 plus years. So that gentleman was very curious to know that this person is 50 years in the movement. So as part of introduction, he said that he joined as a pujari for Radha Madhava and Nrsingadev in ISKCON. So this gentleman, out of curiosity, asked, so what are you now in the movement? So Pankajangri Prabhu said, I'm still a pujari now. He said, what? You are in 50 years in this movement and you are still a pujari? So which means you have not grown in your organization. So Pankajangri Prabhu gave a fantastic answer. Who said, I have not grown? Many people see growth from a very mechanical external standpoint. But the growth in Krishna consciousness is deep, subtle, and it is permanent. Once you're grown, you're not going to go back. So the point here is that when we procrastinate, it is our loss. When we take advantage, when all these great personalities, those who are what I call as those who are torch bearers of these projects, when we go along with them, I guess we will be able to easily cross over the hurdles. Otherwise, who knows what is going to take for us to become a soldier in the Sankirtan mission. Fourth category is lazy, who never gets into action. Procrastinating and lazy are two different breeds, but kind of having the same outcome. A procrastinator is a guy who will give some reason, who may be kind of out of some complacency, some caution, he keep delaying it. But lazy is the one who doesn't do anything, no action, he's just lazy. And fifth is those disciples who keep referring wrongdoers. See, he has not done, he has not done, she has not done, she has not done, nobody has done. So nothing is working out. Everything is bekar, everything is false, everything is useless. I will not preach. Keep referring to so many wrongdoers. Okay, if you know they are wrong and if you know what is right, why don't you do it right? Why are you dwelling on somebody's wrongdoing? So that's the point. And last but not least, that they are the type who keep delegating type. I will get a service, but I'll delegate. I will not do it because I'm looking for a profile. Prabhuji, will you please take care of the shoe stand? Yeah, Prabhuji, I'll do it, but I'll not do it. I'll delegate because it's not the profile that I want. I want a different profile. So delegating type, keep delegating, thinking that, you're doing a favor, but nobody's saying delegation is wrong. Delegation is also a type of service. But here, the reference about delegation is that we are so much in a sense of attachment to our own personal convenience and comfort zone that we do not want to come out of the comfort zone. So to keep things moving, we keep delegating and try to hide behind some quotients, which is detrimental. So these 6 types of students are not the ones who will be able to, support, participate, glorify the Sankirtan mission. The reason I said this reflection in this current context is that there are so many unfinished tasks of our acharyas. There are so many projects that our acharyas have begun and they are, in some different stages. There are so many grounds that we need to cover, especially with the Gen Z, Gen Alpha, Gen Beta, Gamma, whatever the generations that are going to come. Probably they are of a different make, different way they, comprehend things. You may have to present Krishna consciousness in different innovative ways. So we have lot more things to do. And if you really understand them, they are all not only exciting, they are not only satisfying, they will make your life complete. And that's exactly what our acharyas are screaming from the top of their voice, saying that please subscribe to Krishna consciousness seriously and make use of this human form of life. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu here is wandering around the streets. So many people are coming and watching. So many revolutions have happened. What happened after Mahaprabhu left? After Narottam Das Thakur left, there was a period of 300 years lull. 300 years. All those preachings, all those wonderful pastimes that Mahaprabhu has performed, what happened? Because the students, the followers, the successors did not take it up seriously. Or maybe there were other social, demographical and political, socio-economical situations that came in. Somehow Prabhupada took it up again. Bhaktivinoda Thakur took it up again. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj took it up again. Prabhupada's disciples took it up to another completely different level. If Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj has done something out of the world, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj was walking on the streets of Mayapur Dham on the Gaura Purnima day, and he stopped, pointing his cane to the moon and said that one day we should celebrate Gaura Purnima in that moon. So that is the vision of an Acharya. And Prabhupada took that vision to one level. Prabhupada's disciple took that vision to another level. Now it is our time. I'm already seeing it's late, but at least even if we say, we start now, can we all join hands? Can we all buckle up? Can we all try to subscribe to say that I'm ready to become a soldier in the Sankirtan mission and win myself and more souls to the lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada? I'm sure we'll bring in a smile in the face of Srila Prabhupada, our own spiritual masters, and definitely Krishna will give us a special warm hug as Mahaprabhu gave and will instill pure love in our heart. Param Vijayate, Sri Krishna Sankirtanam Ki Jai. Thank you so much. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, Chaitanya Bhagavat Ki Jai. His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj ki jai. Samavita Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Any questions, comments, reflections? I'm happy to respond.
His Grace Ramgiridhari Prabhu Jai.
Jai.
Mr. Puja Prabhu, first of all, and thank you for the very excellent session. Of course, in glorification of Maharaj and in glorification of the movement altogether. And your class is so much inspiring, so much enthusing, and it gives us so much responsibility that we cannot just sit idle and expect the things to go on their way. Rather, we all have responsibilities on our shoulders to carry out this mission of Prabhupada and have the same vision as Srila Prabhupada had. So thank you, Prabhu. Thank you so much. I've heard about these 6 types of unqualified disciples, I think so, from you only. But if you can send me the verse, you were saying that you'll, yep, that words. Question, Prabhu. I know because you share your personal thing. I want to ask if you feel that it's not relevant, you can please ignore the question. But I want to ask, what was the mindset of your father when he called you in that temple? Like he wants to show you that, see how these white people are dancing, or he wants to show that our Tamilian culture is much more richer. Like what was his mood and how you took it?
Actually, very interesting, Mataji. My Krishna consciousness, September 1989, I started. September 89 to 99, 11 years I was in South India. Of course, I was born there, but 1989 I got into Krishna consciousness. 1999 I came to Mumbai. Okay. Anyway, those who are going to Srirangam and South India and coming to Mumbai, coming and giving me 4 curses and 4 abuses, saying that you are a rascal, you left Srirangam and came to Mumbai. That's another story altogether. But this time when I went to South India, I met all my friends, all my old friends, because it was a big gathering. It was such a nostalgic, such an emotional, such a beautiful feeling. It looks like South is calling me, of course, for another project that I'm anyway doing there every month, 1 week I spend in South. So what happened was that my father is a very interesting person, actually. He was, we are a Smartas, and at the same time, we do all sorts of, we used to go for all sorts of bhajans and satsang. So I was in my grade 7. Maybe he was seeing the naughty side of me that I am going to get into, because my father, I remember very clearly, used to very clearly say, 8th standard, or when I'm reaching grade 8, is a time where I'm trying to become an adolescent. So my thoughts, likings, priorities, everything will change, because my father is a fantastic teacher and he assesses the mindset of the students. I learned a lot of things from my dad in terms of counseling and things like that. So he must have seen that I was in that age where, because I was watching TV at home. Typically what was happening is, of course, in my 6th and 7th grade, I was studious. In 8th grade, I, got drifted away, even after coming to Krishna consciousness, which I thought my father is sensing, probably, if he's not going to be in the right Sangha. So that is one reason why he said that you come and see, how people are devotional. So one is curiosity, and second is maybe you want me to, step out of the house and try to become more responsible. But to be very honest, he didn't know what was coming his way. I personally feel because we had a very interesting phase where my father and my family were not very much supportive of my Krishna consciousness when I took it up seriously. So my Pad Pradaksha Guru, I met on that day. My connection with Caitanya Mahaprabhu happened on that day. And, I guess there was no looking back. And my father later jokingly said that, probably, that calling. If I had not called, probably things would have, turned out differently for me, and I would have been in some other, rascaldom state. So in that sense, Krishna had inspired as the first guru for every, every child. Father happens to be somebody to help. So Krishna helped through my dad. My thinking is he called me because I was just, maybe in a very non-serious state in life. Plus, also, it was so wonderful though, because in South India, in Trishurapalli, in such a small town, we were not in the city of main city. It was a very small town. To get to see such things were very, very different, difficult, and wonderful. And now we see when such kirtans are going on, when people see kirtans are being performed, just by being attracted to devotees. The devotees are attractive, beautiful, they are effulgent. So he was not able to comprehend. Maybe he just want to share that good news also. Or maybe Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to, choose us to be part of this mission somewhere. So probably it was a calling from, that side. It's all put together as a package. But I'm so thankful that he did that. And, somehow today we are discussing about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 35 years later.
Yes, Prabhu. Sorry for asking this question.
No, that's okay. That's okay. It is very wonderful, very wonderful.
Darshak Guru. Yeah. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you so much. Your life is glorious and it's so inspiring. So inspiring.
Correct.
Dear
Any
devotees,
comments, questions?
yeah. Do you have time, Prabhu? First of all, I want to ask you.
Yeah. No problem. I am actually, what happened is that I came to some devotee's house to perform some service, and they also called me for a dinner. So now that I thought I'll finish dinner and go to my house to give the class, but then our conversation went on and on that we didn't have dinner. So we are going to have a discussion now and have dinner. But any questions? Yeah, Sudhakar Prabhu, if you have any questions.
Last question, because you have to take dinner also.
No, that's okay. We can. Krishna Katha is amazing, wonderful.
Sudhakar Prabhu, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Very beautiful class. Yesterday also I was attending this session from Mataji about this Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And today you were explaining this role of the Jayapataka Maharaji, and I can see the enthusiasm in you when you're telling us, and I can feel. But I'm just relatively new. I don't know much about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I'm just hearing this one, so it's so inspiring, and I think it's really. I should really start reading it much and attending this session. Thank you so much for this. This is what I can say. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, all Prabhupada. All I can say is that it's very contagious. I guess we should spread this virus as much as we can. And I'm sure, what I'm able to say, it is not mine. It is like, somebody is given an transcendental intoxication. I guess, they will not be able to be in their true self, but at the same time, they'll be speaking, something which is out of the world. So no words of mine belongs to me. All credit and all glories to our dearest Guru Maharaj, Jayapataka Maharaj, as well as to so many wonderful souls whose blessings with that. I'm sure all of you are, thinking something good about me, but I know what dirtiness that I need to clean. But that's okay. That is something that I have to work on. But keep giving your blessings and prayers, so that at least by doing these services, there's a hope that I'll come out clean.
One point I really liked, and this is something new about in your say. You said that the vision of the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is that the whole world will be chanting and dancing. That's something really amazing, which I think if it is going to happen, it's really good. Currently, what I sometimes I get a feeling that the moral values or our cultural values are going down. When you said it took 300 years for to start the movement of Chaitanya, I think this is the time again probably is coming back like that. This is what I feel as well.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Sankirtan mission is already reaching nooks and corners because of Srila Prabhupada and his servants. And I guess we have a lot more nooks and corners yet to be covered, touched upon. So those responsibilities is for all of us to, take it up. I guess the more you do, the more you be part of it, the more we can feel contented for ourselves, as well as we can, help others who are otherwise not able to get this chance. Anyway, always Prabhupada.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much. And Prabhuji, I liked one thing that you appreciated Bhakti Sangha. Thank you so much.
No, I am sure, somebody's going to write it in some book somewhere, and some pota poti nata nati padenge hi padenge.
You will be praised as a speaker of Bhakti Sangha, some renowned.
I didn't. मैं उस नजर से तो बोला नहीं, but at least I'm sure the kind of services that is happening. It's not that every preacher.
It's all because of you all. You all are supporting, so it's going on.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Thank you, Prabhu. We'll not hold on to you. I know Suksagri Mataji wants you to sing bhajan, but she said that next time you can sing 2 bhajans.
Sure, no problem.
So I know guests, their family members must be waiting.
I will show you the altar. Please see that altar.
Sure,
wonderful deities there. All see. This is Radha Vrajanidhi. So they are the deity is named by Shri Radha Govind Maharaj. So this is their beautiful, altar. Can you all see that?
It's a curtain or it's a backdrop?
It's a backdrop.
Okay.
See this. I'll take them closer.
It's very beautiful. And so nice. They have Bhagavatam also. Very nice.
Yeah. Wonderful devotees, and Radha Govind Maharaj has visited their house. They are, very wonderful servants. So Krishna consciousness is happening. This is their house. The Panchatattva here. So it's everyday festivities in ISKCON. There's everyday feast, everyday festivity. Katha, Ganam, Natyam, Gamanam, Apivam Sipriya Chagi, Siddhanandam, Jyotir, Param Api, Kada Swadhyam Apicha. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, dear devotees. Thank you for joining us. Let's pay obeisances to all the Vaishnavas. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha
Sindhubhyaiva cha patitanam
Pavanebhyo
pavanebhyo
Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.
Vaishnava. Holiness Jai, Raj Vyasa Ki Jai, Ramgiridhari Prabhu
जी की जय हरे
Jai.
कृष्ण प्रभु जी दंडवत प्रणाम
Prataka
Very
Maharaj.
inspiring class.
Very good
Thanks a lot for
class.
this class.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna Prabhu ji.
Krishna. Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Prasad ki jai.
Jai.
I'll send you the picture if you want.
Yes.
Please. Yes.
Really eager because it's Ekadashi.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Very cool.